Hi, this is Gina. Welcome back to Tight Ship Mama and the series that I'm calling Happiest Holidays. And today we are going to talk all about toys. I know as moms, this is a lot of what falls on our plate and a lot of what has probably brought you to a YouTube channel about decluttering, especially this time of year. I've mentioned in one of my other videos that Christmas brings me a lot of anxiety. And I'm a work in progress. It's part of why I started this channel. It's part of why I love to declutter and help my friends declutter. It's just this time of year, it's a lot for me. I have 4 kids, and if Santa's bringing just 3 things for each kid, that's 12 new items in my house. Add in a couple grandparents and aunts and uncles, and before you know it, the car is packed to the gills, and we now need to find homes for all these things, and it becomes my job to nag about where things are going and to please pick it up and all the things. And I'm guessing that it's very similar in your house as well. So I hope this video will give you some ideas about how to get through the Christmas holidays with a little bit less anxiety than maybe last year. During Advent, I will ask the kids to go find 3 toys that they are willing to part with and pass on to a thrift store so that another child can enjoy them. And as you'll watch my videos, you'll see on Facebook and stuff that I love to thrift. And you can't just keep thrifting and bringing more and more into your house. So I have an overarching rule with all things, which is 1 in, 1 out. So if Santa's bringing 3 toys for each kid, they're gonna get rid of 3 toys ahead of time. So we usually have this be a day where they choose, and then in addition to that, I will also go through the toys and find additional things to get rid of. So what should you get rid of? Or what could you suggest to your kids to get rid of? So where I immediately begin, and it's the easiest thing, is anything that is broken. Get rid of it. If it can't be salvaged or donated, get rid of it. Anything with a logo or a character. So these typically are going to be your Happy Meal type of items and little just plastic tchotchkes that are just cluttering up every little corner of your car and your basement or wherever you keep the toys. If it's from a movie or something that your kids were not the star of, get rid of it. A friend of mine posted this on Facebook the other day, and I thought, oh my gosh, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. If it's plastic and it fits in the palm of your hands, get rid of it. This is one of my biggest pet peeves in general, like when kids come home from school parties or birthday parties and they have just all this stuff from, China, and it's plastic and it's little and the dog's gonna choke on it. I can't stand it. Get rid of all that stuff. And please stop buying it for other kids too. Number 4, anything with batteries is typically loud, obnoxious, and drives you crazy. If it drives you crazy, just get rid of it. Along the same lines of toys with batteries, it's most likely going to be a toy that does one thing. So it might spin, it might blink, it might do something, but it does one thing. And it's doing all the thinking for your child. Your child really doesn't have to do any thinking to make this toy work. This last category is a tough one. And this is the one that I bet trips all of us up. And this is the toys that they simply don't play with. I know. All the Thomas the Train stuff, all the Legos. I know what you're thinking. Hundreds and hundreds of dollars of toys that they simply aren't playing with. I know, it kills me too, but sometimes Santa does his best and it's just not a winner. Or maybe one kid loved it, but the other kids don't, and you're stuck with all of this stuff. I'm suggesting you try to sell it or you donate it, but cut your losses, because if it's not being played with, it's just clutter. Okay, so now that I have gone through a few things that you should declutter, what should you keep? Or what should you ask Santa for? Or what can you suggest to relatives to get for your kids? because I do love getting my kids stuff. They don't ever get things throughout the year if they don't need it. So we don't go to Target, and they just don't ask for toys because they're not going to get it. And it's just the way I've raised them. They're happy kids. And I think as a result, they're always really grateful. And Christmas morning is just so joyful because my kids really enjoy like the surprise of all that Santa has brought them. So let's go over what are some things that you can get for your kids. Open-ended toys. I'm going to show you this thing. This is called a play silk, and it is simply a piece of silk that is dyed with, I believe, beet juice, so it's all organic and stuff. And my sister-in-law got this for my girls quite a few years ago. But I will tell you, this gets played with more than almost any other toy. It is a little place for them to sit and have a tea party. It's a dress up. It's like they use it with the dog. Like it is always being played with and loved. And it's completely open-ended, and it folds into practically nothing. When you think open-ended toys, think of things that your kid can do anything with. Okay. When you spend $100 on a toy and the kid opens it on Christmas morning, what do they always play with? What drives every parent nuts? They're playing with the box, right? So that's an open-ended toy. I mean, you're not going to buy your kids a box, but think of other things along those lines. Craft supplies, paint, paper, tape, construction paper, crayons. If you go through and declutter all this kind of stuff. If the markers don't work, get rid of them. You can recycle markers at different places and they can use them. Crayons can be donated to different places too. But there's nothing like a fresh box of crayons and new paper. So think of gifts that are clutter-free and that they're going to disappear. Like paints are going to disappear, crayons are going to get worn down, markers are going to dry up. Those are the things that are really creative, and they will keep your kids busy for hours. Some people do 3 things because that's what Jesus got. So whatever you want those 3 things to be, go for it. Some people do another tradition, which I think is really neat, which is something to wear, which is why I have the little vest over there. Something they need, which could be a new pair of shoes or maybe snow boots or something like that. Something they want, which could just be a little toy that they want. And something that they read. So I've got the Mother Goose book over there. And that's a great tradition to have, and your kids kind of expect it. My mom, she starts getting my daughters the really cute dresses for Christmas, which add up big time, and it's not always in my budget. So if your grandmas want to buy those cute dresses and see your daughters all dolled up, let them do it. They enjoy it. It's one thing that you don't have to worry about in your budget, and the kids really do enjoy getting dressed up like that. But in addition to that, my mom has started taking the girls and I to see Santa at this tea party, and it is the cutest tea party, and everything is really tiny. The china is child-sized, and my girls absolutely love it. And that's an experience. If you can ask your family for experiences, that's what the kids are going to remember. Test it out. Say, what did grandma get you last year? If it was a toy, they probably won't even remember what it was. But if you ask my daughters, what did you do last year with grandma? They're going to say, we went to a tea party, or we baked cookies, or we did something hands-on. Kids want your time. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Just take time. If you're an aunt or an uncle and you're looking for something to get nieces and nephews, all you have to do is invite them all over for a sleepover and do like movies and, feety pajamas or something like that. And you wake up and you have chocolate chip pancakes and like sugar them up and send them home. Those kids will remember that forever. Take a picture, because kids love pictures of themselves. And next year you give them that picture in a frame, and then you say, hey, this year let's do something else. We've gone ice skating as a family. We've taken dance lessons as a family. What we get our kids, we announce on Christmas morning where we're going on vacation. And then we ask Santa to bring something that goes along with that. So for instance, the one year we went on a ski trip and Santa brought all the little accessories that maybe they outgrew from the year before. And that was all part of it. So it's kind of clues leading up. Last year we went to Disney and I made them all Disney Mickey Mouse pajamas. So that all kind of went with it. Then the other thing we get our kids is I always make them a Shutterfly book from the previous year's vacation. And this is always the first gift under the tree because I don't even open it. When it comes from the company, I just wrap it right away in the box that it was shipped in. And it's the first gift under the tree and it's the last gift we open. And this gets my husband and I probably an hour of good hot coffee time because the kids are engrossed with looking at the photo album from the year before. I cannot emphasize the power of a photo book. Kids love to look back and see what they did that year. And if you're like really good and you come home from the vacation and you do the book right away, you can get it done in February or March or whatever. I'm not that organized, so I'm usually doing it in November. But the sooner you do it, the more you're going to remember the little jokes that they had or the songs they sang in the car when you're getting there, or like just quirky little things that may have happened that, when kids can look back in the book and they can read that, they're going to really have great memories. And that's what Christmas is all about, right? It's all about great memories. So experiences. I cannot emphasize that enough. If you worry that they don't have anything to open, then wrap something that has to do with it. Even if it's just a little drawing or a little IOU. If money's really tight, this is another way to get around it. Like say you didn't budget for Christmas. That's okay. You can still do, hey, every month we're going to do something as a family. In January, we're going ice skating. In February, we're going to do this. In March, we're going to find a St. Patrick's Day parade and we're going to, eat hot dogs in the middle of March, or I don't know what you do. But okay, here are my final 2 tips for bringing toys into your house, because really it is so hard to have Christmas without toys. So what Santa has been doing the past couple years, especially if your kids are still little, you can get away with this. Go to a thrift store, $20, and get them like whatever toys you see, because they'll play with it until March and right back to the thrift store it goes. And if your kids are little, they're not gonna notice that there's a couple bumps and bruises on the toys. And literally, like, the anxiety that is lifted from doing that is amazing. Like, I simply look at these toys and I think, in March it's gone. I didn't spend anything on it. So no worries, out it goes. The last thing I wanna suggest for you is that a toy swap with your friends. I was at a play date the other day and we were talking about toys and things for Christmas, and I was like, hey, do you need a cozy coupe? The little red car with the yellow roof? Because I got a new Jeep for my daughter at a thrift store that I couldn't pass up. I'll post a picture of it later. But she agreed that if she got this new Jeep, that the cozy coupe could go. One in, one out. So I was able to pass it on to my friend. And we started talking like, well, who needs this or who wants this? And we've done that a few times in the course of my motherhood days, where we just simply swap toys. So make it a girls' night. Bring some toys that you're going to declutter or they're from your thrifting pile, and say, hey, this is all getting donated anyway. Does anyone want it? Do they have anything that you can use? So I hope this has given you some good ideas on how to deal with toys this Christmas season and how to reduce the anxiety of the possibility of all these toys coming into your home. I want it to be a joyful season for all of us. Keep it simple. Don't stress. You don't need to spend a lot of money to make a ton of lifelong memories with your kids. Have a great day, and I will see you definitely next Monday, but probably before that as well. Take care.